Why am I wearing a grey and I'm sweating in a V-neck grey t-shirt? That's crazy. Tinie Tempah, this is 15 years in the making, and right now we're on the set for my Rollacoaster cover shoot. Yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Discovery is actually taking Discovery to the O2 Arena for the first time. There's so many things that happened before that, but I'm a local Southeast London lad. So I remember when the O2 used to be the Millennium Dome and how significant it was in our area. It basically like glowed up our area. Our area was completely crap before that. And so, yeah, when it changed into the O2 and a couple years after, I was doing my first headline arena tour, and that was the venue. It was like life was made. It was like all of my dreams as a kid from Southeast London had been made, and I was doing the biggest thing I could have done at the time. So that's what comes to mind. When Pass Out hit number one, it was like all the hard work I'd put in, even though I was 20 or 21 at the time, it was a whole lifetime at that point. So it felt like all the hard work I'd been putting in, all the highs, all the lows were well worth it. And I was right. I was right. I knew where I was going. The vision was clear. And yeah, it became real. Yes, a song that I was kind of unsure about was Miami to Ibiza a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously, the Swedish House Mafia are legends, but it was so different from Pass Out and Frisky and Written in the Stars that I just thought, because it's a different sound, maybe this is not gonna catch on like the rest did. But it went on to be even crazier. Did really well in America as well. Damn. Uh, I don't know, man. My songs are like my babies. So like most people won't know this, but so many people have emailed to like remix Pass Out, and all the time I'm like, no, 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 you can't do it. I'd probably say though, Fred again. I'd probably get Fred again to do a nice little remix of Pass Out. That could be cool. Fred, what are you saying? Do you know what? The success of Discovery, the way people received that album, the way people still, talk about that album or specific tracks from that album to this day, I feel like there isn't anything I could have done differently. Like, it was such a exciting time for like UK underground music and the crossover, the transition that was happening. It was such an exciting time for UK MCs who had been on the underground for years and years and years. And finally, all that hard work was starting to, turn into like real commercial success. And I feel like Discovery is the epitome of that, especially for that time. So yeah, there isn't anything I would have done differently. It was perfect. So in 2010, my style was a mix of streetwear and high-end fashion. And then I kind of dipped into that whole hipster, preppy kind of vibe as well. I was living in Hackney at the time, so Shoreditch. I was basically in Shoreditch every day. Not too mad about the fashion back then, but definitely wouldn't do skinny jeans or V-neck t-shirts again. I don't know what was going on there. When Discovery dropped, I was coming of age. I was like 21. So I started going to the West End, which was like the thing to do at the time. And so whether it was Movida or Libertine or Aura, you guys know what I'm talking about. These were all the clubs I was at, and I was like literally like mind blown because again, I was from like the suburbs, Southeast London, Central London felt like I was going to like New York or something like that. Literally, it was like a completely different world. So yeah, to be in those clubs, to go through guest list, all of that sort of stuff, it felt kind of crazy back then. Where are these clubs gone, man? We miss you. My favorite place to perform has probably been Australia or Brazil, I would say. And the reason why I say that is because, again, there are two places in the world that I never thought I would go to. And then you finally get there, people know who you are, they like your music, they know the lyrics. And obviously, Brazil is a Portuguese speaking country. So for people to be singing Written in the Stars, for me, I felt like I was in a dream. But yeah, it just goes to show the power of music, isn't it? Like little, black boy from Southeast London working away in a tiny little studio in Greenwich. Music managed to spread all over the world. Amazing. So the artist I was starstruck by when I first started out was Dizzy Rascal. He was basically like my number one, like GOAT. Like the MC and the rapper from the UK who made me believe that I could also do it as well. So yeah, I was definitely starstruck. I think we went on tour at some point, and I remember we were all on the tour bus, and I was just like, even though I invited him here, I'm still very starstruck that he's just right in front of me. But yeah, we're super cool now, good friends. And then the person who I've been starstruck around now, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see Bono, it's a big deal. It's quite a big deal. It's like, wow, that's Bono, man. The wildest fan moment I've ever had is the tattoos. That like it's happened on several occasions, so it's not one instance. But yeah, there was one fan, and I think we were on the road, and they'd got, I think, like our logo tattooed on their ankle, and then also my autograph. And I thought it was really sweet, but it was quite wild. Yes, I think the music industry at the moment is lacking development for emerging talent. I don't think that there's any clear place to go to if you're an artist that's got potential, but you're kind of a bit wet behind the ears. You know, you don't know much about the industry, you don't know how to get in, you don't know how to really record your music in the correct way or mix it. Like, where are the people to help? Develop that talent. I feel like because now the almost route to market is to kind of have viral success, I feel like there must be so much amazing talent out there who maybe lacking those sort of capabilities. Maybe they're a bit shy, maybe their content's a bit crap, and we're just missing out on them because they're not popping up on our phones. And so we've set up a studio in Northwest London where we have like 5 studios, and we do publishing out of there. We have a record label, but we also focus on developing emerging talent, and we focus on their craft, but we also just try and equip them with tools like, did you know you need a lawyer? Did you know you need an accountant? Do you know what PRS is? Do you know what PPL is? All these things that was super helpful for me when I first started out that I feel is kind of lacking now. So coming back into the industry after, going away for a couple of years, settling down, having kids, entering various different businesses and doing sport, doing jiu-jitsu and competing and stuff like that. It felt amazing, man. I almost feel like I've had 3 lifetimes, and being able to actually step back and, take in everything that had happened from 2010 up until now was, I think, very important for my mind and for my spirit. And stepping back in, releasing Eat Art with Skepsis, seeing how well that was received, performing it at a few, places, just again, still dipping my toe in, coming out as a special guest and just seeing all the love. Do you get what I mean? Seeing all the, wild reaction. It's made me feel excited, man. And there's so much more to come. So watch this space. So after releasing Eat Up, Closer and Energy, I think what's changed with my musical process is that I'm trying not to be too hard on myself. I remember coming up in a time where, because we managed to achieve, luckily, a lot of firsts, there was just so much pressure. Like, literally every day I woke up with like anxiety and pressure of like having to deliver. Whereas I think now, fortunately, thanks to the fans, thanks to you guys watching, we've done quite well. Do you get what I mean? So now I have the luxury of being able to go into a studio that is ours and to support other talent, and then also just to make music with the same passion, but without the pressure and without the stress. And it's nice to be able to make music that you love and just put it out there, and, hopefully people enjoy it. And if they don't, then we make more. The story I'm telling is a sad tale, actually, coated in very euphoric, energetic music. But, unfortunately, within the music industry at the moment, a huge sector, which is our nightlife and just clubland in general, is just disappearing right in front of our eyes. Like, we're losing 3 clubs a month. Stats are saying by 2029, there's not going to be any more in the UK. And when I think of coming up, if we didn't have these clubs to kind of test out our music, okay, people love this one, they don't like this, playing in front of the difficult crowds, do you get what I mean? Everyone's here to see X and you're Y, do you get what I mean? But you've still got to win them over. I don't even know if I'll be sitting here today with you guys, like talking to you. So I feel like we need to preserve some of these spaces and that's why I felt like it was important to kind of tell a story of nightlife, from the very beginning when you're excited, you know where you're going, you're texting or WhatsApping your mates, you're all linking up, having your pre-drinks, then going out to the big event, ending up at the after party, and then wherever you end up after that. And there's so many positives, like music at the end of the day is the soundtrack to life. So I'm sure when people look back on their lives, decade on decade, era on era, they'll always have a particular song in mind. And when I look back, obviously I'm an artist, but from whether it's friends, whether it's like really funny scenarios, a lot of that happened while I was out with my mates. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, I think we need to keep that alive. I think the reason why I make music has never changed. I think maybe I kind of got a little bit lost, or kind of like lost the essence as to the reason why for a bit. But I was very quickly reminded on my hiatus, like it's a gift from God, isn't it? Like not everyone can do it. Lots of people I know have tried. Do you get what I mean? So if you can wake up every day and it's something that naturally flows from you, it's a gift and you have to use the gift. And I kind of felt like while I was taking my break, I was almost starving my fans to the point where it almost became unfair. Do you know what I mean? 5 years, 6 years, seven. Do you get what I mean? So I've got to use this gift that I've been given by God, and it brings people together. It makes people happy. It helps to create memories. So why stop? What's exciting me is that I have loads to talk about. Like, I have loads to talk about. I have almost a fresh perspective on life as a more mature man, as a father, as a business individual, as someone who's been on both sides of the music business now, as an artist and as an executive. Um, and I feel like, yeah, I have more memories to help people create, and I have more knowledge to impart, and I have more sonics to, put out into the world to show people that I really does this. So yeah. So I think my mission in regards to the next generation is to prepare them for, what life, could be like, especially in the arts. Because there's a lot of talented people out there who find themselves in situations where, because they didn't understand the small print, now they're tied to it and they can't get out, and it's kind of deterred them from wanting to make music in the first place. So having the hub that we have, and welcoming in all the young talent that we do, for anyone that's willing to listen, because not everyone wants to take advice, but I want to be able to facilitate and prepare the next generation. That's a great question. I want to be the greatest version of myself that I can be. I feel like now, when I'm thinking of the next 15 years, the challenge and the battle is within myself. Like when I think of the early stages of my career, I was always, without realizing it, comparing myself to other people. And the industry kind of does that to you as well, like, oh, look at what this person's just done. And it kind of maybe comes from like a school mentality or college mentality. But I feel like I've got to the place where I'm really comfortable in myself. I know who I am. I know what I've achieved. I know what I'm capable of. And so now the challenge is just making sure that I fulfill my full potential. If 2010 Tiny could meet 2025 Tiny, he'd be like, you're even better looking than you were before. How? How does that work? Thank you so much for joining me on the ride. I hope you guys continue to stay on, because we're not stopping anytime soon. Peace.